All right, well, here we go, huh?
Very first podcast.
Yeah.
All right, so
Well, let's just talk about what we accomplished in this office, bro. Just kind of get warmed up here.
yeah, the things that are coming up.
Yeah, big things coming. Got a bunch of people qualified. This office has produced 7 qualified closers this year, so that's big time.
Yeah.
What you think, bro? What you think is gonna happen in the next couple of years?
I feel like so with this job, there's no predicting what's gonna happen. Ultimately, it's just kind of you work hard and then your reward is gonna come. So with us, we've seen Carter, you, Dylan, Lizzie. Andrew just qualified his first qualifying month.
17 years old.
17 years
Are
old.
you kidding me?
So in a year's time, there's no telling where we're going to be.
No.
I know Carter, I feel like, is going to be rock and rolling and closing first of the year. He's going to get his first 5 sets out of the way. For Lizzie, she's going to get hers out of the way. So then that's going to give us time to actually focus on training on onboarding the new closers. And it's just going to produce a whole lot more revenue for the whole office.
Literally.
Yeah.
And you know what else is crazy, bro? Out of all the things we've done with your mom owning a hospice company, let's go back to that. Just as far as dude, we would have never thought that we would ever be in door-to-door sales. We literally are door-to-door sales, knock on people's door and sell windows.
I think that's a good idea. Let's back up into what we were doing before we got here.
Yeah.
All right,
Absolutely.
So for me, I was working at Chili's, bar and grill. Everybody in the world knows what Chili's is.
Yep.
I was working there, making about $100, $150 a day, working 5-6 days a week. Felt like I had some good money, but I had enough money to pay the bills. So, really and truly, I was tricking myself that I was actually doing something. Then I went and started working in hospice. When I worked in hospice, I got into it and started making my entry-level job was $32,000 a year. So coming in, I'm working six days a week because in hospice, all the nursing homes, they want to do their events on Saturdays. So Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and then on Saturday, I usually have some type of event to go volunteer at. So for me, I started making that $32,000 a year, equaled up to about $600 a week after taxes. So I realized that I was making more money at Chili's. So instead of doing the hospice route, I went back into fine dining, learned where I realized that with fine dining, it's better money in a shorter amount of time, but there's less shifts to be able to work. So what I had to do is I realized, man, if I want to make money, I got to get out of here. I got to just find an opportunity. I heard on Jake Richards' podcast yesterday with Door to Door Deep Dive, whenever he said that he always felt like he had a lot of ambition, a lot of motivation. He just had nowhere to aim it. And that was that one hit home for me. I was just man, I feel like I'm such a motivated individual. I'm so ready to grow and ready to be successful. But where we're from, there's no opportunities down there.
Right.
So for me, it turned around. I got a call after I was working at Pardo's, the fine dining restaurant, for about 4 months. Got a call from Carson Bound, one of my cousins, and he said, hey, started doing this sales job. My first month, I made $8,000. My second month, I made $10,000. And I was thinking, who would be good at this? And you were the first person that came to mind.
Yep.
Well, me, I was $8,000 to $10,000 a month, and I'm there. So 2 weeks later, I was on a plane ticket off across the country in Utah, from Louisiana to Utah.
And that was not this past August, that was the August before.
Yep, August of 2022.
Yep.
So just over a year ago. And on a plane ticket 2 weeks later, had gotten out across the country, realized man, if he can do it, I can do it.
Yep.
So I'm just a real competitive person. So whenever I saw the opportunity, I jumped on it. Pretty much my only option was that. Because I didn't want to go back to hospice. I don't want to go back to serving tables. I'm ready to find the opportunity that I'm waiting for.
Right.
So when he called me and said that there's 25-year-old guys making $500,000 a year,
Literally,
I'm on my way.
Sign me up.
Yeah. But how about for you? What's your intro?
Yeah, so I go back to when we obviously went to college together at Southeastern Louisiana University right there in Hammond.
Yep.
So got a lot of memories there, but hey, we went to college there for the experience, not for the education. But hey, I did finish. I got my bachelor's, so I don't use it. But definitely the experience was great. But coming through college, I was working for United Reynolds. So I was doing inside sales right there at the Exxon location in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Dealing with that. And then I was there for about a year, and then they have a sales development program out of their corporate office. And so I went through that program. It was like a 6-month program, 6 to 8 month program that I went through. And something about it, something with I felt capped, like I couldn't. And one of my I wouldn't say bosses, but one of my mentors, Darren James, I actually was on his real estate team, told me one time whenever I was thinking about changing careers from United Rentals into real estate, is that when you're working for, let's say, somebody else, like on a just normal W-2, he said that if you're a threat to somebody else's job that is above you, they will only let you grow so much.
That's true.
So I felt like I wasn't getting the opportunity that I deserved, and I just felt my worth was. So I just had to make a change. So I went into real estate, started working with Darren James. Great decision. Learned a lot, made me realize what I was capable of. Definitely didn't reach my potential, but it opened a lot of doors for me.
Showed you how to hustle.
Showed me how to hustle, how to grind, So, and then me and you were talking about, and I tell the story all the time, me and Journey were literally laying in my bed, and we were literally talking, and me and you were on the phone, and you bought my plane ticket up here. It was like first week of February, and I flew up. My first day I landed in Colorado was February 28th, and the first day I ever knocked a door was March 1st.
Yep.
So came a long ways from there, but when I got here, it was definitely a culture shock. But backtrack a little bit, I want to definitely I had a memory come up on my Snapchat story 2 days ago. So 2 days ago, a year ago almost today, literally, me and Journey came to my house that I still own in Louisiana, and the electricity was cut off. I was living paycheck to paycheck.
Yep.
Literally didn't have the money to pay the electric bill, and they came and cut it off. Me and Journey slept at the house with no electricity.
Yep.
And I told her right there, I said, you can ask her to this day. I said, Journey, if there's ever a time you want to leave me, now's the time. Because this will never happen again, and I can promise you that.
Rock bottom.
Rock bottom. Didn't have nothing, and came through that story. Got up here March 1st. You were on the first doors with me. I felt this big.
Yeah. Let's talk about that experience. Yeah. Your first day on the doors.
Oh, man. So, there wasn't too much of a long day. It was a very short day in a sense. But so we got out there. First day, I passed all script. That was March 1st. First, I was shadowing you, and then my first 3 doors were 3 women. Obviously, you were there.
Yep.
And every one of these ladies was interested in windows. And the nerves, the adrenaline, and everything else, you're going through there and, they're listening to you. And I just dug a hole, just dug a hole and tried to act like a professional.
Yeah, tried to pull some real estate knowledge.
Exactly.
And just try and talk out of your butt a little bit.
Yeah, just trying to talk my way through it. You know what I mean?
And that only dug your hole deeper.
That only dug me a hole deeper, man. And that was one of the most humiliating days I've ever had probably is the most humiliating day I've ever had in my life.
Yep.
And obviously we went to the Mexican restaurant, got some margaritas. And
I thought you were going home.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Day 1 on the doors, and I was like, Dakota's going to be round 2 of the next person that's going to go home and never talk to me again.
Yep, that's it. And the only reason, whenever we were sitting there, I was defeated.
Yep.
And the only reason that I did not leave is because I was never going to be able to look you in your eyes and know that you could do something that I couldn't do. Nope. That just wasn't going to happen.
Nope.
So went through that, kept pushing through the adversity and just, keep tunnel vision, And heck, you saw me. I came up a closer in September. And
so from start to become a closing, how long of a time frame for you?
March 1st, so March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. No. So I just came on 9 months.
9 months?
I just finished 9 months.
When did you become a closer?
September 1st.
So 6 months in?
6 months in.
6 months in. So that was the same thing for me. It took me 6 months to become a closer. I believe Dylan, it took 7 months to become a closer. So that's usually about an average for our company. When you get that closer life, that's, it's life-changing.
Oh, it's different.
Yeah, that's what we're working for.
That's it.
And then when you become a closer, it's working for the next position. And now market owner, it's working for the next position.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a great thing.
And like you always said, a good saying that I always tell, especially new knockers that come in, is that knocker money is good money. closer money is life-changing money, and market owner is generational wealth.
Yeah.
So if you just look at those stages, you're going to make more money as a knocker as you would on any other 9-to-5 job,
Literally.
which is proven,
Yep.
We got knockers in this office that are making 17, 18 G's a month.
Yeah.
So
Carter has his last qualifying month, he finished the month with 7 sales, and he's made over $13,000 this month. So a lot of money to be made.
A lot of money to be made. And I'll go ahead and piggyback on a couple other things as far as just talk about our success. And remember when we were talking about, because I was supposed to I qualified in May, but I missed it in June because I only had 2 sales.
Yep.
And June 30th, remember me, you, Caitlin, and Journey went all out to eat, and I reset my mind. I accepted defeat. Because that's one thing about this job is accept failure, accept that you didn't do what your goal was intended to do.
And that's being honest with yourself.
Being honest with yourself. A lot of people, that's their weakness, is they lie to themselves and just tell themselves they're working hard. But when you just accept that accountability, it brings you to another level.
That's right.
And whenever I did that, it was more of a reset for me. And then I qualified July and August and became closer in September.
Yep.
And my first closer paycheck was September 15th. The week before that, my in-laws were in town, and credit card maxed out, checking account negative. They ain't no money. Rent's late.
Yep.
My mortgage in Louisiana's late. Literally $0.
Yep.
I'll never let anybody know that because I'm gonna keep pushing. Right?
Yep.
Just can't give up. There's no stopping.
Yep.
And my in-laws were in town, and they wanted to go to Walgreens to get some ice cream. Well, I told Journey, my girlfriend, I said, I don't have any money. Like I hope, and she went and dug in her piggy bank to go get money. The little one of them little jars we keep coins in, and went to Walgreens to get ice cream.
Yep.
That next week later, I made over 11 G's for my first closer paycheck.
Yep.
And in the past 2 months, I've almost cleared $100,000. So,
yep. And that's just that fast. Your life.
My life has
changes.
changed.
But that's just like we said, knocker money is great money.
Yep.
It's more than you'll make in your 9-to-5. The closer money, your life changed.
Yep.
And that you're able to buy a vehicle. You and Journey shared a vehicle for 3 years.
3 years.
Now you're able to go buy a brand new 2024 vehicle, and still have money left over. That's a
not worried about the payments or anything.
Yeah,
like
who
that.
cares? Like we're comfortable now. And then market owner money, and they used to tell me that whenever we didn't have a regional. So now market owner money is going to be generational wealth. Regional money, I mean, you're just into
That's
a whole
stupid money.
like it's a whole nother ball game.
Literally.
So you're going to have percentages from like 6 offices, and it's just amazing the opportunity that we have here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into our vision for the podcast.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So our main goal from what we've kind of talked about so far is that our goal for this podcast is ultimately going to be a recruiting tool.
Yeah.
So for this, we want to show people, ultimately, in my opinion, success comes from helping others grow. If you put all your focus into helping the people around you grow and achieve success, then it's only going to push you higher.
Yeah.
So if we use this podcast correctly, we bring people in, we show them prime examples. We'll get 17-year-old Andrew on here.
Share his story.
17-year-old Luke up here. The people, Cody, the people who come out here. Everybody who leaves their whole life back home to come try this job. We'll get everybody on here to tell their story and explain, just like we did, on how it's going to lead to a successful lifestyle for us.
And that's one thing that, like you said, a successful lifestyle. That's one thing about this industry that I've really learned is this is not a job. This is a lifestyle. Yeah. So
it's almost the work is second to you.
That's it.
If you focus on your life and you focus on self-growth, it's just amazing because when you do what you're supposed to do in life, you are rewarded for it.
That's it.
Every single time.
Hard work pays off.
You put your mindset towards your goal, and I love using like some of the people that we see all the time, like Andrew Tate and Grant Cardone, all the big money, Andy Elliott. They always say that if you put your mind towards something and you have massive amounts of actions towards that goal, it's almost like it's a law of the universe that it will come true. Yep. So it's just, for me, what pushed me through it is like the small sayings to keep you going. So ultimately, it's just you never quit. I watched a video not too long ago. It says, today is hard. Tomorrow is even harder. But the day after tomorrow is great, and it's going to be the best day ever.
Yeah.
Most people quit tomorrow evening. You know, so it's just ultimately you can never quit, because the third day is where you're going to reap all your reward.
That's it.
And that's what we're here for, is you just never quit. In this job, it's a game of longevity, because we're going to move up. Every day you get better. So as time progresses, we're going to practice, and we're going to get to the very top. But the way that we're going to get there fast is by helping the people around us grow.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So the only way that I've found my success is I've invested everything into me. Sacrifice. The name of this podcast is The Ultimate Sacrifice. Yeah. A true sacrifice is not living in your own home for over a year, alone. So from we can kind of get into that too, about like one of the ways that we've seen our success. Recruiting is what we have a strong suit in. So for us, our method of recruiting is it's the same opportunity that I had from the very start. Carson, my cousin, called me when I was down in Louisiana, said, dude, I'll give you 2 months to come out here and you can live with me, learn the job, kind of like figure the ropes out. And if you find success, move out here, And I was like, man, I just need an opportunity. That's all I need.
That's it.
And I took off and I went out there. And for me, I didn't have much success, but persistence through failure equals success. So that was the small phrase that I said every single day. So if people in the room are making $500,000 a year, I can do it.
They're no better than you.
They're no better than me. It's all about it's just that Mamba mentality of like, I'm going to outwork the people in the room.
Yeah.
And by doing that over a long period of time, I may have started behind them, but the amount of work that I put in every single day allowed me to pass them up. There's people who are just now becoming market owners, or they're not market owners, and they were closers when I came into the company.
Yeah.
But it's the amount of work that I put in. It's the work that I put in outside of work, because everybody clocks in and they're like, all right, let's ready to work. But in reality, what did you do on your way to work?
Yeah.
What did you do on your way home yesterday? And it's all about the extra that you put in.
Yeah.
But if you work harder than everyone in the room, you're going to achieve greatness before everybody.
Like the good example you always use is Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant.
Who was the first one in the gym in the morning and the last one to leave? Kobe Bryant.
Exactly. And that's like the reason we're doing this podcast is we want publicity. We want to get our names out there. The only way to get your name out there is to be the best at something.
Yeah.
Nobody keeps up with the middle league guy.
That's it.
Nobody keeps up with the average person.
That's right.
If we want to be great and we want to show others how to be great, we have to live that lifestyle.
That's it.
So that's the ultimate sacrifice. For us doing what we have to do. It's almost having non-negotiables in every single day of your life. I'm going to be up on time. I'm gonna eat right. I'm gonna drink water. I'm gonna be positive. I'm not gonna be mean. It's just you got to hold yourself to the highest.
Well,
standard.
the good saying is that what you always say is you got to be the father that you want to be. You got to be the brother that you want to be. You got to become to become a millionaire. You have to live like a millionaire.
That's it.
The difference between a billionaire and a millionaire is this person lives like a billionaire and not a millionaire. Their lifestyle. That's all it is.
It's not who they are with their job.
It's nothing. That's it.
That's another thing too. Is I saw it's just as hard to make $100,000 or $200,000 a year as it is to make $2 million a year. It's the same amount of work output. All you have to do is put yourself in an opportunity to see that type of income.
Yeah.
And for us, we have the biggest blessing in the world because we walked into a door-to-door job that Windows isn't very big. We're in the best window industry, window company, probably in the country, if I had to guess. I don't know anybody that's producing the amount of revenue that we are.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So it's just amazing that we have this opportunity to grow.
And the mentors that we have to look up to, Levi and Kyle. Couldn't ask for better owners as myself to anytime me and you can call them and ask them for their advice, and they're always open arms, So that's one of the biggest blessings that I look at this job as is it's not my boss, it's my mentor.
Literally.
We're 1099, we're our own business,
It's gotten to the point with the high-performance coaching that Kyle has implemented with us. One of my goals is to have a finance call with Levi, one of the owners in our company. He makes pretty dang good money, so he's probably a great person to mentor me what to do with the money that I'm about to make.
That's
so
right.
It's just amazing that our owners in a $70 million window company are still in our office calling us on the day-to-day, giving us advice.
Here 2 days ago.
Was here in our office 2 days ago, here to coach us.
That's it.
So it's just the opportunity of a lifetime. For us, with what we want to do here is we want to continue to grow this office. And as this golf office continues to grow, just like our owners had said yesterday, We're going to open 20 to 30 more offices in the upcoming probably 4 years. So in reality, that's just, we need people, but the people we want are the people who are like us, highly motivated, self-driven,
wanting to change their lives.
That want to change their lives. We could talk about that too, about like the people who we have seen come into this job, the ones who have success versus the ones who don't. The people who have success, they come in here ready to give the ultimate sacrifice.
That's it.
The people who don't make it, they come in here and say, yeah, I'd like to come try the job out.
Talk about, I like using your story as far as sacrifice. Let's talk about, like, obviously you've had some great friends of yours. One that actually asked you to be in his wedding.
Yeah.
To officiate it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So just talk about the sacrifice that you had to make, because obviously, you know, what you did is you became market owner in before a year with being with this company.
Yep.
That's unheard of, right?
Never knocked a door in my life.
Never knocked a door in your life, you know, and now you're a market owner working your way up to be a regional.
Yep.
So talk about the definition of sacrifice. So, you know, people that are listening to our podcast, our viewers and stuff like that, just really understand, you know, because we always talk about it all the time. It's not, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Just let me think. It's the difference between, just talk about your experience with the sacrifices that you have made to become where you are, as far as like the weddings and stuff like that that you have missed.
I think that it's a great example just to say, like, ultimately the sacrifice in itself. People say that they make sacrifices every day. Some people, it's ultimately, you've got to be able to define what is a sacrifice versus what's an opportunity. Because I hear all the time where people are like, well, I'm taking a sacrifice to come out there and try the job. I'm sacrificing everything I have back at home. But that's not, they don't understand the definition of sacrifice. Sacrifice is putting your mind towards a goal and doing everything, literally everything, to accomplish that goal. So for some examples of what I had to miss out on. For me, I had extreme FOMO living down home. If I was in Louisiana trying this job, I would never be able to do it because I have too many people that are going to be calling me, hey, Garrett, let's go get some dinner.
Distractions.
Let's go get a margarita. You know, let's go out tonight. Let's go to Topgolf. Let's go hang out, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And I love living life. I want to live life to the fullest. But in Louisiana, you're surrounded by people who are okay with the average lifestyle. So for me, my sacrifice is, the first sacrifice I had to take was getting away from everything that I know and love. For me, that's my family, my girlfriend. I left home with the intent of breaking up with her. You know, we've been together for 3 years, and I told her that I'm leaving with the intent to change my life. Yep. That's my goal. And to change my life, that means it might be changing her. That's just sacrifice. I'm going on a mission to accomplish something. And so moving across the country, I told myself I had 4 weddings from August until December that I completely missed out on. 3 of which I probably would have been in the weddings. One of them, I had a friend ask me to literally officiate his wedding. Ask him, he wanted me to come up on stage and say, Hayden, I do pronounce you husband and wife. You know, you can kiss your bride. Yep. And I literally didn't even go to the wedding. But the thing is I look at it as like, life is so short. You know, if you use an ultimate sacrifice or a short amount of time, then you'll have a great life in the end. It's a short amount of really 100% effort for a short amount of time, and then you're going to have the benefits of as if you worked a 20-year job and you retired the way that they want you to. Mm-hmm. You know, so for me, it's taking that sacrifice of leaving home, holding myself accountable even with, I talk to Caitlin all the time, but it was not my goal to ever bring her. You know, so it was just kind of, if it works out that way, that's great. And the reason she did come is because I found out that if she would help me achieve my success faster.
That's it.
And that's what it is. And that's a relationship. It's a business
team. Yeah.
And you know, we work together. You know, it's never me versus her.
Nope.
We're always on the same team. So as long as she's always helping me to grow, then we're gonna find success together faster.
Yeah.
But the biggest sacrifice I think is missing out on all of the things that you would normally want to go to, all the trips that you'd want to go on, the birthdays, the holidays, you know, even going home on holidays, that you're losing a routine by going home. Yeah. So for me, I dreaded going home. Even on my birthday, I'd rather stay home and stay up here and work because I'm going to lose the little bit of steam that I did have.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's another ultimate sacrifice. The sacrifice itself is, doing anything to help the people around me grow. So if that means me going broke to help people, that's okay. That's my investment into the people around me, because that's going to help them grow.
That's it.
They're going to see the trust that I have in them, and they're going to see where I will do anything to be successful. And if you get people to buy into your vision,
so whenever I came up here, obviously I stayed with you for damn near a week on. I was flying back and forth week back to back from here to Louisiana because I still had those real estate transactions pending.
Yep.
And like you said, as far as people buying into the lifestyle that, technically, in reality, that you've kind of set the standard for. When Dylan was up here, when I came in here, I saw your routine.
Yeah.
And
we could do a little breakdown of that too, of like the routine that was like implemented with the job.
Yeah.
When you came up here.
And so like what I was saying, like what's your routine as far as getting up in the morning, doing CrossFit. I do CrossFit and I hate CrossFit, okay? Yeah. Like people think I go to it because I love it. No, I absolutely hate CrossFit.
Yep, it's what I have to do.
It's what I have to do because I know that if I go through CrossFit, I can go to a gym and I can go lift weights, but I know that I won't push myself the way that I push myself in CrossFit. Mm-hmm. So whenever I complete that task through CrossFit, I'm already 99% better than everybody else in this world.
Yep, and it's those small victories.
Small victories, yep, and that's what reach your ultimate goal.
Yep.
And as far as like working out every morning, cold showers, it ain't easy to get in a cold shower. Mm-mm. It's not easy.
Did you take one this morning?
Yes, I did. Before I came here. Absolutely. Got to. And because like you said, when you're on that routine, it's your daily activity. Mm-hmm. If you miss it, your whole routine is messed up.
Yep.
So if you stick to that routine, your cold showers, drinking your greens like you did this morning. I didn't drink my greens this morning, but drinking your greens every morning, one thing I do try to implement is listening to podcasts. Obviously, we listen to Closer Survival Guide. That's one I've really got into lately.
Mm-hmm. It's the self-knowledge. It's the want to learn. Because you go through college and you go through high school, nobody wants to learn. Mm-mm. But now we're at a point, it's almost crazy because it's like 25 is the age that everybody turns. And it's like, all right, well, here's life. I need to do something now. So, and that's whenever it's like, well, I need to start learning. I need to start figuring out what I'm going to do. And it's when it's that right there, figuring it out. Problem solving is how we're going to learn. So that's the only way you learn on the doors is getting out there and doing it.
Just doing it.
Same thing with this job. The only way you're going to learn it is by getting out and doing it. It's a gamble, just like the slot machines. You could walk into a casino and look around and you could say, man, I would lose a lot of money in here.
Yeah.
Well, guess what you did? You didn't win anything, but you didn't lose anything.
That's right.
But, you never won anything.
Well, you sit there and watch everybody else win.
Exactly. But if you sit down on the slot machine, you pull it a few times, guess what? Now you have an opportunity to win.
That's the same thing as indoors.
Exactly. You might lose, but you have an opportunity now.
Yeah.
Before you had no opportunity. It's taking advantage of the opportunity that's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, for like our, let's see if we can get back on my little topic of here. So show how we got into sales, explain the vision for the podcast. So ultimately recruiting. So how we got into sales is ultimately it's the biggest blessing in the world.
Well, I would say, so how we got into sales, I know me personally and as you as well, you were always seeking that opportunity. And because serving, bartending, that is sales. You're upselling drinks, whatever the case might be. As far as the sales, but I would say we were always seeking the opportunity to be uncapped.
Yep.
The uncapped. Just like one saying that you said, as far as everybody always told you to go in sales and you can go make $150,000 but where's the sales where it's limitless, right?
The one that we grew up and everyone's like, there is no cap in what you can make in sales.
Yep.
Well, in my mind, I was selling in Chili's. I was selling at Pardo's.
Yep.
I'm selling food every day, but that's not sales. You just have to find the niche of like the high income sales. And if you do so, the tech sales, I'm sure, is great. Solar is great. Door to door, I mean, like anything door to door is going to be great because we're not paying the advertisement costs and stuff like that. So ultimately, it's just finding somewhere where you can work. And it's the biggest blessing because this isn't like car sales, which car sales you can get good, but in door to door sales, you get good by going out there and hitting more doors.
You have to go get yours.
Yeah, and you can. And it's as much opportunity as you're willing to take on for that day. There's that many doors out there. There's more than that. It's infinite doors out there.
Yep.
With car sales, it's how many people is going to come in looking for a car today. I get a couple opportunities to get better every couple hours versus door to door. I get 30 conversations in 3 hours.
That's it.
30 conversations where a car salesman only gets a little bit of practice. So we found a place where that's why it's so easy for us to grow up. I mean, like to level up and go to the next level is because we have so much more practice in such a more amount of time. So it's ultimately the ultimate opportunity to see that.
Well, it's just like we always refer back to Kobe. He sits there and he shoots 100 free throws until he doesn't miss.
And
right?
He don't leave until he makes 100 in a row.
Exactly.
That's discipline.
That's discipline, and that's the same thing that we're doing on this craft here. Is we're perfecting a craft, which is going to bring us. We're professional salespeople. Door to door industry. I've been a real estate agent. I've owned my own company as far as lawn and landscaping and pressure washing. Worked for a Fortune 500 company, United Rentals.
Yep.
Let me say, door-to-door sales is the hardest thing you will ever do, but the most rewarding thing you will ever accomplish.
Yeah. If you can master it,
that's it.
You look at life differently.
That's it.
Like you talk to people differently. Any situation that you just handle it differently.
Yep.
It's just mastering people. I really and truly believe that because we're all the same type of person. You're going to come across 50 of me's out there in the world. There's 50 more people with the same mindset. They live like I do, but it's just coming across that person and learning how to master that individual or that type of individual. You're going to come across 30 mean people. You're going to come hundreds of mean people. You're going to come across so many people who are having the best day ever, having the worst day ever. Mastering people at different points of their day.
Yeah.
And
just figuring out how to navigate.
And that's what we do.
Putting smiles on people's faces, changing lives.
That's literally all we do.
What's up next? So we got
a few traits that made you good or bad. So I think it always comes down to like the discipline and the routine. So if you want to be successful in anything in life, you have to have routine. If you wake up every single day and you're like, well, what's today got for me? You lost.
Attack the day, don't let the day attack you.
Literally. So my lingo is like, don't let the day F you. So
right.
Fuck the day, don't let the day fuck you.
Right.
But it's the biggest. It's true because if you wake up and if you have no goals written down, if you have no routine planned for if you don't have tomorrow planned out, kind of or at least an idea of what you're going to do for tomorrow, then you've already lost tomorrow. And then you might as well try again next week or next year at that point. So you have to take advantage of time management and keeping it on routine. The only way that, like when you said, when you came out here to do this job, you got on my routine.
That's it.
It's not even that you learned the job from me. You've learned my life.
Yeah.
And that's what this is when I started the job, Carson was doing CrossFit. I've never done CrossFit before in my life, but I noticed that if I were to do business with somebody, I'd want to do business with someone who's in shape, who holds themselves together, who they're confident, they're
professional.
They're professional. They care about themselves, and if they care about themselves, then they'll take care of me.
That's right.
And you got to be the person that you want to be led by.
Right.
So if I want someone to train, I want to be the person that I would want to be led by. So then it's changing into you're altering your life to match that lifestyle. And so that's whenever 5 a.m. workout. Every single day. Yeah. You got to beat the sun up, like Grant Cardone says. If you don't beat the sun up, then that's your first loss of the day. So you got to beat the sun up, then you got to be you work out. You work out in the morning, guess what? It just sets the tone for your day. Especially a CrossFit workout at 6 a.m. It's high intensity, short amount of time, and you're dead after like 15 minutes. But after 15 minutes, you go take that cold shower, and that's your third victory already before 7 a.m. Yeah. 3 victories.
Refresh.
You've done 3 massive, great things before 90% of the world's out of bed yet. Yeah. So you're a victor. You are going to be victorious in the end of the day. And then you go, you get your breakfast, you eat you drink your greens, you get out to work, and then it's podcast or books the whole way to work. Self-knowledge, continuing to grow, and then you get out the area. When you get out the area, it is full intent on those doors. You're going out there with a purpose.
Tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision. And that's like the biggest thing is it's got to be tunnel vision, not day by day, but what ultimately it is day by day, but it's got to be longevity. You've got to come into a tunnel vision for at least 6 months, like 6 months to a year. And if you put your head down and grind, you'll lift your head up and you're going to say, damn,
that's it.
Look what all I've done.
Yeah.
But if ever you take one step and you're like, oh, look, yesterday was a pretty good day.
Get comfortable.
Or you wake up, yesterday was a pretty good day. Mm-hmm. You wake up and you're like, yesterday was a pretty good day. No, you can't think about every day. You got to just put your head down and grind. You can't let the cancels bother you. You can't let other people influence you. You can't let
the previous door transfer to the next door.
All that kind of stuff. It's focus on what you can control.
What's in front of you right now.
Literally, what's right here. And if you set an appointment and you're like, man, that was a really good one. I hope it's going to be great. Chances are, I already count those as the cancel.
That's it.
So you got to set them. It's all about what's ahead of you. Because if you're not focused on what's next, then you're going to start focusing on what's behind you, and you're stopped. You're done working. There's no more productivity.
Yeah.
So it's all about, the tunnel vision, the sacrifice of putting your head down and just grinding for a long period of time.
Pushing forward.
Persistence
through failure.
Persistence through failure is your success.
So what we got? Something. Oh, this is a good one. I know we kind of getting a little tight on time, but let's kind of elaborate on, like, people get scared of 1099 jobs and commission-based jobs.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They get scared. Well, we want to, because we got a bunch of more content coming out, so stay tuned. Yeah, so let's kind of wrap it up. Great first podcast. One thing I do want to bring up, I know you got a Golden Door this year, man. Kind of tell people a little bit about that. And I know Door-to-Door Con's coming up the first of the year. I'm kind of jealous. I definitely want to get my Golden Door. But tell everybody what to expect and, some cool things that we can expect at Door-to-Door Con. I know you kind of talked to those guys a little bit already.
Yeah. So for us, Door-to-Door Con it's an opportunity to go out, and it's going to be everybody in the door-to-door space. It's solar, pest control, roofing, alarms, windows, and it's going to be pretty much the top 1% of each industry gets invited on stage to get awarded a Golden Door. For windows, we have to do $2 million in personal revenue. I think I'm coming up on $3 million for this year. But yeah, ultimately with the top 1%, they'll go on stage. At Door-to-Door Con, it's going to be a great opportunity to learn. I think Sean White is actually one of the guest speakers. And, being he was the X Games gold medalist, Olympic gold medalist, snowboarder. It takes a lot of discipline and routine to do that kind of stuff. Yeah. So great people to learn from. They're going to have really good people. I'm excited to get there, be able to get on stage. I think it's just going to be a great networking opportunity. The people that you're going to be rubbing elbows with are the top 1%ers across the board in all industries. So there's no telling what kind of opportunities will be there at Door-to-Door.
And another thing, as a door-to-door salesman, you get to meet, kind of see other people's perspective from them being in the streets,
Yeah, so you get to learn different sales pitches. There's going to be different trainings and stuff like that. So it's over the course of 3 days. So I think it's like day 3 is like the awards. Day 1 and 2 is more of like a learning and kind of stuff.
Right. Got a lot of value out there for sure.
Yeah.
So, well, good deal, bro. Well, heck yeah, first podcast, got it done. Mm-hmm. We're both so excited about this, as you can tell. We we want a lot of people to come on this journey with us. We got lives are getting changed. This office has already grown tremendously. Yep. So we can't wait for the next people to come on and jump on board. We're going to have offices, like Garrett said. Mm-hmm. In the next 3 years, we'll add another 30 offices throughout the U.S. So opportunity is limitless. Drop your comments in the section below. Kind of tell us, what your thoughts are, and what are some values that we can bring to you.
Yeah, or questions. If they have any questions about the door-to-door space, or onboarding, about see how hard it is, or over the next couple of podcasts, we'll talk about how long it takes, about timelines to see success, and what type of income that you see in those first couple months, and especially the first couple months, what those look like for people. And it'll just help people to kind of get onboarded into the door-to-door process. And
you'll get to see, we're going to have a bunch of other people get on the podcast with us, share their testimonial, because that's all we're doing. We're all writing our own stories. So, but hey, thank you all for listening. We're just as excited. We're super stoked. Can't wait to see who everybody jumps on board with us. Got a bright future ahead of us. And we look forward to it. And thank you for watching The Ultimate Sacrifice.
All right, till next time. Thanks, guys.